So what we are seeing, really the trend is that in the past we used to have many students coming, as we mentioned, for corporate world or maybe from finance, consulting. Now we are seeing more students coming from many different backgrounds. Many are entrepreneurs. They have started their own companies, and if they want to scale it up, yes. So right now, the global trends. So what we are seeing is we are seeing a lot of mobility from students. So really, we are having people from, at least in our school, we have people from many different countries. In the last class, I think we had around 80 nationalities represented. We have the percentage of students that we have, it's 85% come from outside of Spain. And we want to keep a good percentage, like 15, 20%, depending on the year, of Spaniards, because one of the benefits that we offer as a business school is the possibility to learn Spanish. And I know that specifically for Korean students, this is a very important aspect of our program, have this possibility because it expands your opportunity to work in Latin America, for example, or even to work in Spain if you know the language. So what we are seeing, really the trend is that in the past we used to have many students coming, as we mentioned, for corporate world or maybe from finance, consulting. Now we are seeing more students coming from many different backgrounds. Many are entrepreneurs. They have started their own companies, and if they want to scale it up, they need the knowledge to be able to expand that. And also, we are seeing many people coming as well from the tech sector, and especially when there are so many, let's say, turmoils in the tech sector right now. So when they are dismissed from their companies, the natural thing many times is to go and pursue an MBA. So for the next 2 years, they can be exposed to new knowledge, new ways of looking at things, and maybe new career opportunities. Yeah. Well, I think everybody in the world has had to adapt to AI because it's something that we were hearing many years ago that it would come, but it's come at a much faster pace than anyone anticipated. So I recall having done an AI course 5 years ago, and when we were talking about AI, we were talking more about maybe the operational side and how the appliance of AI into the business world would be more like in factory environments, in places where you just had to check like multiple things that maybe a human, it would take a long time to do that, no? And so now what we see and how we have adapted, obviously, is our portfolio of programs on AI has increased, and also the number of participants that are interested in our programs has expanded significantly. So we used to have...
What kind of programs then?
So we have a focus program, so a specific program on AI, which we used to bring 50 executives every year, and now we have like 200 people coming every year to take this program because, everybody's willing not only to learn on how AI works, but also the implications that AI can have in their businesses. So this is one thing, but also in our school, we had to adapt in all the different aspects. So of course, at the curriculum, we've had to adapt our curriculum to introduce, as I said before, how does AI work? But then which are the implications that you, as a manager, because what we teach our students is to become CEOs. So which are the implications, the ethical implications, the technical implications, also the management implications that they will have, because it's not the same to manage a team when they are using the tools or they are not using the tools. So we've had to adapt in several ways, and in the curriculum as well. We are introducing simulations based on AI. So we have negotiation programs, for example, where you are also negotiating with a machine-based negotiation. So there you also have to adapt quite quickly. So all our professors are adapting their subjects, taking into account that students are going to be using the tools. So it's also a new way of teaching. And the only thing that we cannot forget is that we are teaching our students, and this is the core of any business school, is we are teaching our students to become better leaders, but also better decision makers. So it's not only about the technical part of AI, but also how they will be able to make better decisions with the tools that they have at their disposal. I would say one of the things where IESE has always been very strong, and we are very outspoken on that, and we will continue having that in our core, it's the mission. So the mission of our school is really to develop leaders who want to have a deep, positive impact on people and society through professionalism, spirit of service, and integrity. So I think that in an era of AI, these three values are still valid and even more important, because integrity is very important. In AI, we all know that the models, they are not fully, they cannot be fully right on everything that they say. You have to fact check all the things that they are telling you. They are becoming more and more perfect, but they are still not perfect. They have biases. Also, they sometimes they can mislead you. So in the end, if you're someone that you just want to get something done very quickly, but you don't fact check everything, and you are not an integral person, you don't follow integrity, then that can lead you to some problems. And although some people now might envision the world in a very futuristic way where machines will run the world, that really is not the case, because there will still be people, and that people need to be managed, and it's so important that managers and how we teach our students is that people are still at the center of everything we do, and that we have to manage being at their service as well. So it's something that I think when we are envisioning a world where machines will always overtake what we do, is that we just have to remind ourselves that we are still people, we will have to be managed, led, and we play a very important role in this new era. Yes, yeah. So, it's always very hard when you are in a top business school to recruit professors, no matter which area. So even if it's accounting, if it's finance, if it's ethics, it's always very difficult to recruit. But it's true that now everybody's getting up to speed on AI and learning. I would say that we were quite visionaries a few years ago, because we started the AI initiative in our school, and we asked one of our professors in strategic management, he's called Sam Sasamila, who is now our guru in AI, and he's leading this initiative. So we asked him like 8 years ago that he should be analyzing, or 8 or 10 years, I don't recall, that he should be analyzing what was coming and what would be the implications for business schools and for business specifically, and then what would be the implications on AI on the rest of the business school. So he has been promoting and also recruiting other professors, and also asking other professors in our faculty to embrace the knowledge that he's really leading. But also there are many other professors in our school that are very savvy on AI, and that they are also helping him build this initiative that it's becoming better and better every year. And also we are now launching an ethics observatory, because the ethical implications of AI are also very important, and many of the CEOs in the world are now concerned on what is the role that AI is going to play in their companies, and also the ethical implications.
Kind of prepared.
Yeah, we were prepared. So that didn't take us, by surprise. So because I think that, as I was mentioning before, my experience like 5 years ago when I took this course on AI, nobody was really talking about AI. It was something that, yes, it would come, but it wouldn't come in the form of, I think ChatGPT opened a new door of possibilities, because suddenly everybody could understand how more or less it was working, that you could be interacting with a machine, which before, when they were talking about LLMs and they were talking about like all the other applications, it was, at least for me, it was a bit blurred how that was going to work. Yes. Well, what I would say is that, I mean, being in the rankings, it's a consequence of lots of years of doing a good work. So IESE has been in business for more than 60 years. And in the last in the last 10, we've always been at the top. And I think what is important is this consistency of always being at the top. Because being number 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, the difference between one and another, it's really, really tiny. So what I think we should look at is like this consistency and how we've done. One element that is very important in the ranking, it's the satisfaction from our alumni community, which is the one that I'm now responsible for. And so one of the things that the ranking measures, it's whether the MBA has helped you achieve your goals and do that career transition, or even take you to an even further career progression. So, and here the alumni satisfaction has been key. Also, another element which has been very important is ESG. So currently the Financial Times has introduced more sustainability measures, and IESE, the same with AI. Like 10 years ago, we started an initiative on sustainability, and we understand sustainability in a very broad way. Sometimes when you talk about sustainability, you only think about carbon emissions, or you only think about green. So you think about these things, but we think about sustainability in a much broader way. And here, IESE, if I'm not mistaken, has reached the maximum position. So, and it's something that when we are working as well, we think, okay, is this measure, this decision that we are going to take, is going to be sustainable around? Also, I mean, is it going to have an impact in the, of course, in the environment? Is it going to have an impact on our students? So we always try to see, okay, which are the dimensions of the decisions that we are taking, and the ranking is also of sustainability. I mean, the first is, in order to have an impact, you need to be sustainable financially, for example. So this is one example, because many times we just talk about environmental impact, and that's nice. And of course, in our school, we've had lots of measures. There are no plastics in our school, for example. We've taken lots of measures to reduce water consumption. We've even changed the whole gardens in our school. We've changed them in a way that now they consume less water, so they can be more sustainable in the future. So those are lots of measures, and also our buildings, everything. We have the best certifications in terms of energy savings, all these kind of things. But that's a very narrow part of sustainability. So it's also as well how you take decisions that impact the workers in the business school, and also your students. That's also part of sustainability. Yeah. So in executive education, if we look at the rankings, we've always been at the top. IESE has a very big portfolio on executive education, not only in Spain, but also outside of Spain. And one of the things that maybe we are most proud of, it's one of the programs where Jonathan is working, it's custom. So tailor-made solutions for companies. So companies, we are working with clients from all over the world, many from this country as well. And so what they do is they come to us with a specific problem, and we look at how, with our professors and the expertise that we have, if we can design a program that really fits into their needs, and it's going to accomplish the objectives that the talent development team or the human resources team has in order to achieve their company goals. So those, this is an area where we are excelling, and we've been number 1 for many years. And it's something that we are also looking for ways to expand. Yeah. No, it really, I mean, when we say tailor-made solutions, I mean, it's really tailor-made because, I mean, sometimes maybe in other schools you have custom solutions, but it's more like, okay, for this problem, we give you this solution. For this problem, we give you this program. But we don't do it like this. We say, okay, what is exactly your specific problem that you are trying to solve? And I recall having helped in one program where we had to do a very specific simulation. So it was a mining company all over the world. So we brought sea levels from all over the world. So people who had never met them, I mean, met each other. Yeah, that we can explain because obviously we are trying to solve a specific problem. But here they wanted really to do a huge transformation on how they run the operations. So we had people working, so we prepared a simulation where it was very tailor-made to something, a case that it was real to them. So we were giving them, so they had to prepare in teams, in different teams that maybe they had never worked together. They had to prepare, so we were giving them like details. Say for example, there is a mine that has something exploded. So then you as a management committee, how do you react? But now, so how do you react when I tell you that there is one employee that died during the explosion? So what is the information? What are you going to tell the family? What are you going to tell? So it's like putting everybody in the situation, I mean, in a situation that it can happen. And these are solutions that we really produce specifically for that company with the expertise of our professors. So that's why it takes us a long time, lots of conversations until we really deliver a program with these solutions. Well, we are seeing a bit of a shift in with Chinese companies, and also on the way. I mean, we are seeing a shift where before Chinese companies tended to be a bit more open to the world. Now there's been like, okay, they're becoming more Chinese. Yeah, there's contracted. The same is happening with when you look at business education. So now there are less Chinese students from mainland China willing to go and study abroad. And this is something that at the business school level, not only at IESE, but overall, we are experiencing. So before, it used to be an asset to go and study abroad. And now what we are seeing is that the Chinese business schools are starting to get more and more domestic students because there's been this, let's say, contraction. I mean, I think it's a mixture. It's true that with all the geopolitics that is going around, it's becoming harder for some nationalities to study abroad. But also, I think there is also a movement within China to to go back to growth, but from the inside. And also the Chinese schools are very good, and this is something that for us it's really. I mean, we are very proud that we were able to nurture a business school that now it's a very good institution and well-renowned institution in the country, and yeah, and then we will see where that takes. I mean, as you know, in history there are always shifts, and we expand, we contract, and then we will see. No. Mm-hmm. Could be. I mean, it's not our strategy really. I mean, but it's of course. I mean, anything we do at the business school level, we try to transfer and to transmit. So now, I mean, the school for the last few years has been focusing a lot in AI and sustainability, and of course, the core values of our mission. I mean, this is something that it doesn't matter if you are in a finance class or if you are in an operations class or in a strategy class. We will always be asking the same question. I mean, is this ethical or not? Does this have an implication on people, yes or no? And these are things that you, as a business leader, you need to think about because you're responsible for that. So we always try, I mean, and this has always been our methodology. So whatever it's important at the school level, we always try to transmit that in all the different subjects that we teach and in all the different programs.